Caitlin Clark reminded everybody who she is in the Fever win over the Wings in what was a blowout victory. One where Clark didn't even shoot the ball well again, but she completely dominated the game and shows the difference between her and everyone else through her playmaking.
The Indiana Fever have flipped the script big time. Once the league's biggest joke, now they're suddenly the team everyone's watching. And right in the middle of this crazy turnaround, Caitlin Clark. After spending weeks stuck on the sidelines, it finally feels like the team's letting her be who she really is, a straight-up game changer.
Caitlin Clark said, folks, forget what she's talking about. Today, I'm going to run the show. Today, I'm going to control the pace. Today, I'm going to dictate how this team plays basketball. And in the first half, we saw exactly that. Natasha Howard running the floor. Yeah, you heard that correct. Natasha Howard running the floor. Yeah, I shit you. Folks, fans have a voice. Sometimes when the noise gets too loud and they're tired of hearing from it, they say, let's just buy in a little bit. Let's let Caitlin Clark be Caitlin Clark. Let's not pull the reins back too much. And in that first half, we saw exactly that.
Let's take it back just a few weeks. The Fever locker room. It was a mess, tense, awkward, and totally off. The energy was so cold, you'd think they were prepping for a trip to the South Pole. Team chemistry. Practically zero. But fast forward to now, and things have done a full 180. They're clicking like a machine built by NASA, if NASA also majored in basketball brilliance on the side.
That's what we're talking about when we are referring to Caitlin Clark running the show. Caitlin Clark running the offense, being the innovator of offense, the distributor of offense for the Indiana Fever. This is exactly what we mean right here. This game was an absolute blowout. Dallas Wings didn't know what hit them. Everybody ate in this game.
Everything shifted when DeWanna Bonner decided to leave, and took her me-first attitude with her. She walked into that locker room like she was the main attraction, only to find out this wasn't her stage. The spotlight already belonged to Caitlin Clark. Bonner tried to position herself as the centerpiece on a team that was clearly being built around someone else. It was like watching someone swap the Mona Lisa for a selfie and thinking the Louvre wouldn't notice.
So, the Indiana Fever just released cut their losses, right? And I hear these analysts saying stuff like, they should have held out for a trade, or I wish they had got a trade for her. She was literally untradeable, right? Like, what team would give up any of their core players for a player that's past their twilight? They picked up R.A. McDonald, or re-signed R.A. McDonald, who we all saw was a spark plug just a couple weeks ago. She's an upgrade compared to DeWanna Bonner.
Bonner leaving wasn't just a roster move, it felt like the team finally lifted a heavy weight off their shoulders. The second she cleared out her locker, you could almost hear the entire squad breathe easier. It was that kind of shift, like the tension just disappeared overnight.
Because we've seen a huge change. We've seen a huge change from the Indiana Fever over the last 6 quarters. And especially in the fourth quarter, in the Dallas Wings game. And there were 2 players in particular that I have said that their style of play, regardless of how they're playing, is not going to work long term. And those 2 players had unbelievable games yet.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Now let's be real, the Fever didn't just lose a player when Bonner left. They dropped the baggage that was dragging them down the standings. It was one of those moments where less actually became more, like finally pulling out a splinter that's been bothering you for weeks. Suddenly, the air felt lighter. The mood shifted. And for the first time in what felt like forever, the Indiana Fever looked like a team that actually wanted to play basketball. With Bonner's cloud of negativity gone, the energy flipped instantly, like one of those viral TikTok trends. The same players who looked miserable on the court were now celebrating, sharing high fives, chest bumps, and genuinely having fun. It reminded fans exactly why they fell in love with this game in the first place.
This team is like a sorority group. I'm not joking. They are so closely bonded, like the energy that all of them have with each other. There is not like where you see and someone looks a little disconnected. This is literally the most tight-knit team. I'm telling you, and I actually think all the discourse or the people trying to create discourse offline or outside the locker room only makes them tighter. And throughout the training session, I saw multiple times where, they were like laughing and mucking around and just completely like high-fiving and actually speaking of the high.
Then came Sophie Cunningham, the walking, talking energy drink of the Indiana Fever. While the rest of the league was ready to write off their season, Sophie basically grabbed her teammates by the jerseys and yelled, "We're not done yet." She didn't just step up, she exploded into a leadership role with all the subtlety of a fireworks show in a quiet library. Suddenly, she was everything: the team's hype engine, defensive enforcer, locker room therapist, rolled into one high-powered, blonde whirlwind. When the team needed a spark, she didn't bring a lighter, she came in tossing full-blown motivational grenades. During timeouts, while others were catching their breath, Sophie was air-drawing plays with the wild urgency of someone trying to break down the plot of Inception in under a minute.
Probably the standout play in the game, in my mind. Clark with the big-time rejection near the rim. And then the get-ahead pass to Sophie Cunningham, touchdown. And Sophie Cunningham has come into her own as of late. But it's just beautiful. Get it out. Get it up. Bucket. And, that's just something others cannot do.
But Sophie's biggest impact. She understood something that too many others missed. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a nice-to-have. She was the key. The system didn't need to squeeze her in, it needed to revolve around her. While some teammates saw Clark as a threat, Sophie saw her as the unlock button. She became the connector, the translator, bridging the gap between the seasoned vets and the rookie phenom. And in doing so, she helped everyone realize what they had right in front of them. At practice, when Clark would whip a ridiculous no-look pass straight through traffic, Sophie wasn't quiet about it. "That's what I'm talking about," she'd shout, making sure the whole gym knew, that wasn't just talent. That was next-level stuff. She helped shift the culture from resistance to respect, turning doubters into full-on believers faster than someone handing out free snacks at a meeting.
All right, everyone who said that the Fever played better without Caitlin Clark, come to the front because I'm going to slap you in the face. Fever just won 102-89 against the Dallas Wings. Congratulations to Fever. They killed it with their old and trusty playbook of just rim running. And Dallas Wings, Chris Koklanis, have you never seen a Fever game before? They're fast in transition, but huge with the long bombs. Caitlin Clark is there. Run to the other side quickly. That's where they got the majority of their points. Poor Paige Beckers. You're such a huge talent, and you're just drowning with this terrible coaching. Oh, it breaks my heart, but it was an incredible game until the last quarter when it was very clear that the Fever would take it.
At the same time, Caitlin Clark was going through her own transformation. For months, it felt like she was just visiting, like a guest in her own locker room. But that's over. Now, she's taken her place, not by forcing it, but by proving it every single game. With relentless hustle, undeniable talent, and a drive that puts even Olympic athletes to shame, Clark didn't ask for respect, she earned it. The version of Caitlin we're seeing now isn't just hooping. She's running the floor like a maestro, turning every pass into a perfect note, every deep three into a full-blown crescendo. She's not just the rookie anymore, she's the engine of this team, the one who lifts everyone's game around her. The change has been so drastic, watching earlier Fever games feels surreal, like a throwback to a weird alternate timeline where fun and good basketball were somehow illegal.
Caitlin Clark now has the 5th most double-doubles with points and assists in WNBA. The 5th most double-doubles with points and assists in WNBA. And we're only in year 2? And we've missed half the season so far? Oh no. Oh, that record's going to be broken any day now.
Clark's leadership isn't loud or forceful, it's empowering. She doesn't hog the spotlight, she shines it on everyone else. Her passes aren't just precise, they're instinctive, landing in her teammates' hands before they even know they're open. It's like she's playing chess while the defense is still figuring out how to set up the checkerboard, always 3 steps ahead and picking up speed. Now, the whole team naturally revolves around her, not because anyone told them to, but because greatness draws people in. Clark's basketball IQ and talent have created a force of their own, and everyone's feeling the pull. Players who once hesitated to give her the ball now look for her like she's the last source of water in a desert. The trust is total. When she calls for the ball in a clutch moment, you can practically see every teammate nodding in sync before the pass even leaves their hands.
Even with their actual coaches and their training staff, like I've got some awesome videos of Keith training, like KK training Dantas, and you will see that they're laughing and they're having a good time. And I just think that is like the energy that you want, right? You want to create a locker room where it feels like family and you have each other's back no matter what, and noise gets loud and noise gets disruptive, but as long as you can stay together closely knit, then you can drown that out. I genuinely feel that.
What we're seeing isn't just a hot streak, it's a full-blown identity shift. The Fever aren't just that team with Caitlin Clark anymore. They're that team with Caitlin Clark, and yes, the emphasis is the whole point. The narrative has flipped. They've gone from a novelty act to a serious contender, from being watched out of curiosity to being watched with respect. This playoff push isn't just about getting into the postseason. It's a statement. It's the Fever letting the entire basketball world know, the rebuild is over, the future isn't coming, it's already here. While the experts were saying, maybe in a few years, this team made it clear, why wait?
Shooting's not there yet, but that will come. But being a playmaker is more than just scoring the ball, and dropping 13 dimes and getting 5 steals is amazing work. I mean, look at this dime, full court pass. This is incredibly hard. If you haven't ever played basketball, this pass to Cunningham is so hard. And she was doing this all game. Here's another one in the 4th quarter to Kelsey Mitchell for an easy layup. With CC back in the lineup, this Fever team is starting to click, and they are becoming a force. They have 2 key games before the All-Star game, and I think if they can win both of those, this team's going to be right in there for the second half of this.
The Fever are playing like a team on a mission, like they just realized their Netflix free trial ends tomorrow and they've got 3 seasons left to finish. Sure, the stats show the progress. Better shooting, sharper defense, more assists, fewer mistakes. But what numbers can't capture is the vibe shift. This team has swagger now. They walk into arenas like they own the place, and already paid it off. The fear factor has flipped. Teams used to see the Fever on the schedule and chalk up a win. Now, they approach with the nervous energy of someone trying to defuse a bomb. And the best part? It's not just the Caitlin Clark show anymore. This is a full cast performance, and everyone's stepping up. Kelsey Mitchell scoring with machine-like precision. Nalissa Smith is crashing the boards like the ball owes her money. Aaliyah Boston's guarding the paint like it holds top-secret files. And Lexi Hull. She's drilling threes like pressure doesn't exist in her world.
Clark, after the game, was talking about how so many different players were in double figures. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell, another awesome game. 8 of 12 from the floor, 20 points. Natasha Howard, 18 points, 8 of 9 from the floor. I was critical of Natasha Howard in the last game. Got to give it up when it's due. If she can come into her own with Clark on the floor, that's a whole different ball game. Aaliyah Boston, 17 points. You know, Clark was the 4th leading scorer with 14 points. Sophie Cunningham had 13 points off the bench. 102 points scored for the Fever.
Let's be honest, just a few weeks ago, saying Fever and championship in the same breath would have had people checking in on your mental health. But now there's a quiet buzz building. A sense that maybe, just maybe, this scrappy team of underdogs, built around a rookie phenom, could actually go the distance. Could Caitlin Clark really win her first title this soon? Like the straight-A student who shows up to a job interview an hour early and already has thank you notes printed? The odds are still stacked. The challenges are real. But something electric is happening in Indianapolis. Something you can't explain with just stats or expert analysis. The Fever are playing like they've got nothing to lose and everything to prove. Like they're walking into every game saying, why not us? They're the basketball version of that moment in a heist movie when someone says, "This plan is insane, but it just might work." And at the center of it all, Caitlin Clark, with that wholesome Midwestern grin that somehow feels both sweet and slightly intimidating. She's not just leading a team, she's shifting the entire league's direction. While others are still fighting over the spotlight, Clark's out here wiring up extra lights so everyone can shine.
Alright guys, this game got real crazy. But let me tell you, 64 points by the Fever, and it's all because of that lady right there walking off the court, Caitlin Clark. Look, now you got 3 players in double figures. You got Howard, you got Mitchell, but you got her assists. She got her assists, man. She should have had 10 assists already, bro. Dantes fumbling the bag, Kelsey Mitchell eating and wide open layup. Bro, messing up her stats. But anyway, but she got 10 points, so that's pretty good in the first half. Plus a whole bunch of assists. She got 7 assists.
So buckle up, basketball fans, because what we're witnessing isn't just a feel-good comeback story. It's a shot fired straight at the heart of the WNBA establishment. The message? The future isn't around the corner. It's already arrived. And it's wearing number 22, tossing no-look passes like she's rewriting the rules of physics in real time. The Indiana Fever aren't just stacking wins, they're reshaping what's possible when raw talent finally meets the right moment, and ego steps aside to let greatness lead. And that 2-game win streak? That's just the warm-up. The main event is on the way, and it's looking like something the league, and the fans, won't forget anytime soon. This team isn't just heating up, they're straight up explosive. And now the only real question is, does the rest of the league have enough firepower to contain what's coming? Because Caitlin Clark hasn't just found her footing in the WNBA, she's claimed her throne. And from the way things are going, this reign is only getting started. Long live the Queen. And good luck to anyone trying to slow down the Fever, because this isn't just a team anymore. It's a movement.